Welcome back to my channel. Dear students, from today onwards we are starting NET series in which we are going to study syllabus of NET exam. Why NET is important? It becomes a prerequisite for admission to PhD. So from this cycle, this NET exam onwards, if you want to get enrolled for PhD, you should have a NET exam cleared. And also to do research in various other fields or to just pursue your further studies, you need NET exam. That has become a mandatory exam even for your career choice. If you want to get into any university or you want to apply for any post, assistant professor post, you need to have NET. It also widens your knowledge in your specific area. So for all these things, NET exam is must. To begin with, let us start with the communication. What is a communication? Communication word, it was taken from Latin. So it means communicate is a verb, communis is a noun. What is the purpose of communication? To inform others what you know, to express, to influence, to meet social expectations. What are the features of communication? Communication is reciprocal, that is, role change happens, sender will become a receiver, and also while replying the message, the receiver also becomes a sender. It involves two parties, at least two persons. There is two-way process. If there is a presence of feedback, it is known as a two-way process. It creates understanding, can be verbal and non-verbal, which can be both formal and informal. It develops intimacy and solidarity relationships, much more than words. It is goal-oriented. It can be broken down or misunderstood. It is a universal panacea, which is a remedy, which means communication can become a remedy for any of the problems. It is a transformation tool from unknown to known. It is a tool to success in life, work, and profession. It is dynamic, continuous, ambiguous as in difficult to understand. So we have seen what are the features of communication or what is communication in general. So how the communication is divided into different aspects. Whenever you communicate something to other person, so 20% will be counted for your voice. The remaining 33% will be your words. The rest of this 47% will be your non-verbal cues. So whenever you are talking, the voice modulation consists of 20%, 33% of words, and rest 47% is non-verbal cues. Non-verbal cues can be your gesture, your eye contact, and your actions in the classroom or during the communication. What is the process of communication? The elements which are included in the process of communication are sender, who is an encoder also, message or the content, encoding, that is presentation of idea, how do you present the ideas, medium or the channel, it is a tool to send, decoding, or it simply means understanding the message that is given by the sender. Receiver is nothing but a decoder, and then there is a feedback. Feedback is nothing but the reply or the response. So here, sender, message or the content, encoding, medium, decoding. The process from sender to decoding is known as transformation phase. This transformation phase where the sender is going to become a receiver. So this is known as a transformation phase. From the sender to the decoding process, it is known as transformation phase. So one important thing to note down while communicating is disturbance in expressing to the sender. Any message that you are expressing to the sender and the disturbance that occurs in between is known as noise. And also, second note is sender is the originator of the message, source of the message, initiator of the communication process, and is also known as an encoder. So these are all the synonyms for a sender. Next one note is communication is a cyclic process if there is feedback. Remember students, if there is a presence of feedback in the process of communication, then it is known as a cyclic process. Three types of noises which we have discussed earlier here. Disturbance in expressing to the sender is a noise. So what are the different types of noises that we encounter? One is physical, second one is physiological, and third one is psychological. See, for example, whenever you're communicating your message to the other person, if there are certain disturbances of outside noise, or if the person who is communicating with you sneezes in between, coughs in between, that is a disturbance while communicating. So these are the disturbances which we encounter during the communication.